Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. It's Tuesday. It's time for Kid Author Connect. It is time. Hey, everybody. Hey, Jennifer. And Born Free. Hi. Hey, Luann. Hey, Ron. That's my sweetheart, Ron, down there, guys. He comes every week. He's very loyal. Hey, everybody. How is everybody doing? So it's Tuesday. What about yesterday, though? Wow. That was crazy. Instagram was down. Of course, there's other ways to run your business, but it was kind of challenging. And I actually had announced an author chat that I was going to do with Leah Hernandez, the director of Young Authors Publishing. You guys remember we had the children with us for September. So I posted this announcement that we were going to be speaking at 6:00 last night, and the post just got lost in the shutdown. So it never appeared. It finally appeared, I think, at 5:30 or something like that, and we had already decided to postpone. So it was just crazy. So that messed me up with that. I'm curious to see if you guys had any problems behind that, because at first we didn't know. I didn't know. I thought something was wrong with my internet, but it was kind of crazy. But it looks like we're back. I don't see any problems, any kind of lingering issues, not unless you guys fill me in on that. But it was an eye opener. So let me ask you guys before we get started, since this is an Instagram platform, what did you guys learn about yesterday? What did that do? So did it open up your eyes about anything? Or, how did that impact you? What did you take from that? Because it was definitely an opportunity for us to learn, I think. Definitely an opportunity. Even on this platform here, because I'm here with you guys every Tuesday. So what if I was here with you every Monday? We just wouldn't have had a show yesterday, right? So it's something to think about. I love this platform of Instagram. Yeah, Color Their World says that I can survive without it. Absolutely. So that's kind of how I felt. It's like, if I'm running my business, I better be able to run my business without Instagram or without Facebook or Reddit or whatever. You still need to make sure that you have contacts with your customers, with your business associates. So if this ever happens again, it does not stop you, right? It does not stop you, right, Ron? There's life beyond social media. Absolutely. I actually got a lot done because I wasn't really checking posts or anything because there weren't any. So I got some other things done. My Sister Goose is there. Hey, Virtuous. How are you? How you doing, sis? Hi, Catherine. We were just talking about the lesson that we learned from yesterday with this shutdown happening. Nothing can stop you. True. Right. Nothing should stop us. If anything goes down, whatever. We keep going. We move to the next medium that we have in place to conduct our business. It's about continuing. So you have no control over Instagram if it goes down, no control over Facebook or anything else, but you control your business. So that was an eye-opener for me. Yes, working on record all followers. Yes, Virtuous. Yep, absolutely. So anyway, that was my little mini lesson because I actually enjoyed that whole experience. Because it was like, wow, this is an opportunity. God sometimes gives you these little learning opportunities when you least expect it. So if you are blessed to have a business or to have a book or to have something that you're working on building for you and your family, don't put all your eggs in one basket, as our grandparents used to say. Don't invest all your time and energy in Instagram, because if something like yesterday happens again, how is your business still running? Right? So I thought it was great. I thought it was a great lesson. Yes. Good lesson. Absolutely. So anyway, hello. I can't wait to see you guys on Tuesday for Kid Author Connect. This is my favorite part of the week. I always look forward to it. I look forward to being with you guys, and I look forward to introducing you to a new children's author every week. So last month, for the whole month, we featured the children who are actually children's authors from Young Authors Publishing. That was fun. Now, we did have a couple of mishaps because a couple of the kids didn't show up, but that's okay. Maybe they had a soccer game or something. I don't know. But we went on, and we still are going to support the kids, right? So I wanted to let you guys know that I did reschedule. Hey, Marquise. I did reschedule with Leah Hernandez, who is the incredible young woman who started Young Authors Publishing. And they make dreams come true for Black and brown children. And their motto is that all children are story worthy. So these children have the dream of becoming an author. They love to write. They are taught the whole process, not just writing, but actually writing as far as writing for a book. They are taught about searching for an illustrator, character development, the whole process of publishing. They're literally taught that. Hey guys, nobody taught me. Did anybody teach you? Or did you do like me, like trial by error on the job training? So these children are taught this whole thing. They can tell you the whole process of writing and publishing and distributing a book. And the best thing about it is that they market their books, and these are beautiful hardcover, full color books. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So they market their books, they sell them on their website, and they hold the funds for the children. 80%. 80%, that's huge. Are you getting 80% of your books? Let me see if anybody, tell me if you're getting 80% profit on your books. I just want to know. Yeah, no. 80%. It's awesome. So they put the money into an account for the children. And when they are of age, those funds are turned over to them so that they can begin their entrepreneurial dreams. I think it's amazing. So I cannot wait to talk to Leah. So we're going to talk on Thursday at 5 o'clock, and I'll post that tomorrow. But I do want you guys to come back. You have to meet her. You really, really have to meet her. Okay? Okay. So tonight, one of my favorite authors, I'm going to talk to her. One of my favorite people. I just love her. We had a good connection when I first heard her speak on Clubhouse. You know how sometimes you hear somebody speak and you're like, I want to know that person. She just sounded so passionate about her message. So Dr. Sheila Thomas is going to join us tonight, and I'm really happy about that. So let me do a couple of things first. You guys know, right? Kickstarter, I'm still going, guys. I have 8 days left. 8 days. Why am I here? A child's book about purpose. There's those beautiful children. They're thinking about their purpose. Haven't you thought that before? Haven't you just wondered, why am I here? What am I supposed to do? So that's what this book is about. It's about encouraging the children to dream and hope and think about the possibilities and their place and their path in the future. So my mission here is to provide this book to inner city children who may have certain challenges that make it more difficult for them to look around and feel hope. And maybe people aren't really talking much about hope and future and purpose. Maybe. There's a different set of challenges when you live in a challenging area like that. And we want to provide hope. And we want to let these children know that they're not forgotten. And, we see them and we care and we love them and we want them to be excited about their future, right? They have a purpose, each one of them, right? Okay, so that's what that book is about. My Kickstarter ends on October 14th. I reached my goal on the 16th day, but I am pushing past it because I need more to reach more kids. So I'm going to leave it that way. I'm very grateful for what I have, but if I could reach, close to those double digits, that would be several hundred more books for me. That's what it equates to. So that's what it's all about. So if you haven't supported me, guys, please do. You can order a copy for a child that you love, or you can donate one for a child in need. Okay? Please do that. Thank you. Thank you. And of course, this is Johari the Great. This is my first book. This book is about a boy whose teacher inspires him to use his imagination to write. And he does. And he realizes that he's pretty darn amazing at it. He's really good. And his superpower, you see, is found in that pencil, right? In the pencil. I like to think my superpower is in my pencil too. I don't know. I don't have a cape, but I feel that way. I just want to put my pencil up sometimes and go, ta-da! Naomi the Great, right? That's how I feel about this guy. That's how I feel about this guy. And that's what I want children to feel. That every child, I believe, has a gift within waiting to be discovered. And it's up to us, the adults in their lives, to help them discover it. So that's how I feel. That's pretty inspiring. It inspires me, and that's what I want to do is inspire children. So that's Johari the Great. You can find all my information on my website, naomibooks.com. Right? naomibooks.com. Okay, so you all are here to meet Dr. Sheila, and I did see her at Thompson Consulting. There she is. Okay, so let's send her a request so she can get on in here and join us, and we're going to talk about her book. Okay, Dr. Sheila, let me get you in here. Can you send me a request? I know you're there. I saw you there. Okay, there we go. Thomas Ed. So Dr. Sheila, also I want to talk to her about this new club that she has. She is really doing some things, and we're going to hear all about it. So Dr. Sheila, I sent you an invitation. There she is. Hi.
Hi. Let me get my angle right here.
Okay. And hey, Natasha. Hey, Naku. Hey, Chris. I see everybody's joining us. I'm so glad you're finally on the show.
I'm glad to be here.
Wow.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Yes, me too. You know, I kind of have a special place for you. Ever since I first heard you speak that day, I just love your passion for children and for education and for the work that you do. So really exciting. So we're going to talk about your book, but I also want to talk about some of the things that I know you have coming up. And I want people to be aware of that. So everyone, this is Dr. Sheila Thomas with Thomas Ed Consulting. Did I get that right?
Thomas Educational Consulting and Training. There's so much to it.
Okay, so why don't you first just introduce yourself to everybody? Tell us who you are and what you do.
Okay, thank you. Well, thank you, Naomi, so much. You know, I love you too and all the work that you are doing as well. And yes, we connected so well on Clubhouse, and we had a Zoom meeting too. So I really couldn't.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
So my name is Dr. Sheila Thomas again, and I'm an educator, retired, but I don't think I am because I'm busier. I'm busier now than I was when I was working. But I'm an educator who works as a consultant right now, and I work with parents of babies, black and brown boys specifically, from 0 to 4, giving parents the tips and strategies and tools they need to be the advocate for their children, for their sons. So when they enter preschool and kindergarten, they'll have everything they need to be able to talk to the teachers and tell the teachers how their child learns, how engaged their child is in learning and in skills and in knowledge and just different things that a teacher needs to know about the child by being that advocate. Also, I teach parents the tools and strategies they need to create a literacy environment at home, because we want them to enter preschool and kindergarten ready to read and have a deep desire to learn. So that is my work that I do, and I really, really enjoy that. And of course, I'm an author of 3 books, one more on the way. So I'm excited about that journey with my books as well. So that's me. I'm a mother of 3 sons, a 34-year-old, 30-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a 12-year-old grandson. And I have a husband and a dog who's sitting right here beside me.
Right. I saw you said you're fur baby, so I know how that is because we have one here and she reigns. She definitely reigns. I
That's
have to
her.
remind her. I have to remind her who's the queen of this house, but that's another
It-
story.
I understand. I get that.
Yes. It is very nice to learn a little bit more about you. So you have three sons. Okay,
Too.
three. I don't know why I thought it was two, but three. And can you tell
Well,
me, go ahead.
yeah, my stepson, my stepson is 34, but that's still my baby.
That's
He's
still
been
your
with me
son.
my life.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's been out of my life since he was 14, and he's 34, so that's my
Oh, that's
son.
your son. That's your son.
That's
That's for
my
sure.
son. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
then my
So
son James, the one who I have a clubhouse room with. That's
that's
his
what
other
I was going
dog.
to ask you. Is he
Yeah.
the middle son or the oldest?
He's the middle son. He's
And
the middle.
he's okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, I wanted to tell you that, guys. This is very unique, I thought. So Dr. Sheila started a clubhouse group with her son. And what is the name of it?
Raising brilliant black and brown boys.
That is
That's our.
awesome. Yeah. Well, that's beautiful because we have sons. We don't have any daughters except my daughter-in-laws, or in love really because they're like my daughters. But yeah, that's important. And there's a whole set of challenges that face black and brown boys. And
Yes,
so
here.
if there's a whole set of challenges facing them, we're having to deal with those challenges too.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
that's why I thought it was really beautiful. And I've been missing all the meetings because of my Kickstarter, because that's all I seem to be able to handle is just focusing on the Kickstarter. But I'm looking forward to joining in because I'm a mother of sons,
Yes.
and
Mhm. We had
yeah,
an amazing room today talking about the stages of development. Very great room.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so before I get into asking you a gazillion questions, so your husband and your sons, so what is it that you like to do as a family? Tell us what you do in your downtime with your family.
Well, you know what? My husband and I, my husband's very laid back and we love to watch movies together. And we just have a fun time. It's nothing for my son and my husband and I, especially the three of us. It's just the three, the youngest one here. And we'll just laugh and play games or watch something together. So we just enjoy spending that time together, taking a walk with the dog
Yeah,
in the neighborhood. So just the simple things, that we like doing together. It's just moments in time that we cherish together. And
absolutely.
as a group, as a whole, of course, getting the whole family together and having those big meals or things like of that nature is what we enjoy doing. But just enjoying each other and making each other laugh. They love to make
Hmm.
me laugh. So making
Hmm.
each other laugh.
It's probably not too hard, is it?
It's not.
No,
It's
I don't
not.
think
I
so.
love, yeah, I love to laugh. I love to
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, you can tell you have that joyful, easygoing spirit. So that's beautiful. That's beautiful. But what about you now, when it's your time to just have Dr. Sheila time, just me? What is it that you like to do?
I love, of course, the feminine things, getting my hair done, nails done. Sometimes it's strolling through stores. I love music. Music, this does something to my heart. I can listen to music all day, many different genres. I love gospel music, but I start my day with my meditation and prayer. And then as I'm getting ready for work or wherever it may be I'm going, I always turn on my iHeart radio and listen to music. I love
Mm-hmm.
music anywhere I go. And I think that's what's impacted my son so much for loving music because they've always heard music. So
Music in
that's
the
something that
house.
keeps me calm. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I think that that is the story of a lot of Black families. Music has always seemed to be a big part of the Black families that I knew, that I grew up
Mhm.
with, and even, still today. Music is it's something that soothes us and inspires us, and we respond to it. But when it's with the family, it just seems to add to the joy.
Yes.
It just seems to add to that atmosphere. So I think that's beautiful. I share that experience too. Music really makes a difference. It really
Yeah.
does. Yeah. So I have your book and I want to show, and I do want to talk to you about your second book, right?
Well,
Your
it's my fourth one that's coming up. So I have four.
fourth. Oh, okay. Okay. So guys, this is the one we're going to talk about today. Look at that. JR's biggest fan. Now you can guess who JR is. That's her son. JR's her son. And she is the biggest fan, of course. Now, this book it's so cute. It's so cute because it's a story between the mom and the son, right? And the message, it is personal, but it's universal. It's universal and it's geared to small children. So we're going to get into that, but I really like the message that you have here. And this was your first book, and now you have the fourth one coming out.
Yes.
Okay. And JR, now I'm going to guess, I don't know, is he the oldest son?
What's so amazing about it, it's about both my sons. I was married twice, and both my sons are juniors. So,
So you got both of them in there with the,
so
okay,
yeah,
smart.
so they're both, it's James Jr. and Eric Jr., so they're both juniors, and they both engaged in the activities that are in the book. Both of them participated in all the different activities that are in the book they
Yeah.
were a part of, and at the end of the story, they both were a part or are a part of what's happening at the end
And
of the
the end
story.
of the story. Okay, that's really clever. That's really clever. I was guessing it was oldest because he was first,
No.
and right. That's what I was guessing. But so I'm going to show some of the pictures in the book, and would you tell the people who haven't read the book yet what it's about as I show the pictures?
Okay, so JR's biggest fan is the story that I wrote about my sons and how, as a mother, I always supported their every endeavor, no matter what they were doing. If they were outside on a swing, and as you see in this picture, he fell out of the swing and he hurt himself. But I was there supporting him and saying this
Yes.
affirmation, son, never give up. Yes, you can. Always be your biggest fan. And so different activities he participated in. There he's wearing a baseball cap and playing baseball and just having fun. But he makes some mistakes throughout that story. But I'm
Yeah.
always catching him up. Don't give up, son. You can do it. You can
Look at
do it.
his
You can
face.
do it.
He's a
Yes,
little upset, and
he's
that's the opportunity for encouragement.
always encourage him. Don't give up. Don't give up. Yes, you can do it. There was the example of both my boys in the spelling bee, and this picture is so real because I remember their faces being distraught when they didn't win the spelling bee. But I
Oh,
was like, but you were in it. So the encouragement was that you made it to the spelling bee. You may not have been the winner, but you still are a winner because you had the opportunity to
to
participate.
participate. So as an expert in this area of early childhood education, that seems to be an area that is a challenge for us to help our children through because they just want to win all the time, win, win, win. And they think if they don't win, then automatically they fail, they lose.
Mhm.
And I remember when my boys were growing up, it is important to encourage them that it's not always about a win or a lose, right? How do parents get that message across?
Well, like I said, the way I got the message across was allowing, first of all, my children to try different things, sports, spelling bee, plays at church, wherever it was. If they wanted to participate, I allowed them to do that and say, okay,
Mm-hmm.
give it a try. And if
Yeah.
they were not successful, I would give them steps and tools and say, well, let's try it this way and encourage them. Don't just say, I'm done. Let's try it a
Right.
different way. Let's see what else we could do to help you to be successful. Then after several attempts, I may, put a little bug in their ear and say, well, you know what? Why don't we try this thing, or let's try something a little bit different, or let's
Mm-hmm.
engage in this activity. So you encourage them to keep trying. And then if they're not successful, then you kind of nudge them to try something different.
And
But just
that's what you did in here. That's what you did in this book. Yeah, I like that very much.
Yeah, that's another one. That's something else they participated in with sports. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we're not successful.
Right. And that's okay. This is one of my favorite parts here. And so what I always do here is I pick my favorite part and I read it and then I tell you why I picked it and we'll discuss that. So I don't want to go any further because this is my part that I picked, right? Yeah, that's my part that I picked. So if you had to be, I don't want to spoil it yet, but if you had to give two takeaways for children from this book, what would it be? So what would you say to the little ones that you would want them to remember about this book?
Well, it's basically the affirmation in the book. Never give up. Never say, I just can't do it. I won't be able to do it. Or thinking that something is wrong with them. I would let them know that, hey, yes, you can. You can try. Always try.
Always
And
try.
even if you're not successful, if you're failing at something, at least you try. But don't use the word can't. That is a
Can't.
Yeah, we don't want to use that word. Just say, I will try to do that. So that is one of the things I tell the children to always try. Never give up. Never just say, I'm done. So that's the second part of it. Never say, I'm just done with it. And then the other part is to ask for help. Ask someone to help you, whether it's your mom or your dad or a friend or a teacher or family member. Ask for that help. There's someone in your circle who may be able to help you with whatever it is you're trying to achieve.
Right. So, Dr. Sheila, what do you do when because I know someone who had this struggle. So what do you do when you have a child who won't ask for help and does just want to throw the ball down or, just be done and just gives up? What if they're not listening to, easily to that, let's try something new, and they're having a hard time moving on. So what is the approach there?
Well, sometimes, children don't receive it from you. There are some things that I cannot pour into my son, and his dad is better with it. So you have to find someone else who can encourage him, and that's okay. Because we as parents, we don't know it all. So sometimes we as parents have to ask for help, have to extend ourselves out to others and say, hey, my son is trying basketball. I couldn't play basketball. So I would ask someone who's good at that to encourage him and say, tell him or teach him some skills so he could be successful with it. So we as parents also have to ask for that help, for someone else to support our children when there's something that, we're at a standstill, or there's a strong party that's against us. So ask for that help.
Okay, that's good advice. That's very good advice. So those are the two things that you want the children to take away from this book. And what about the thing that you want the parents to take away? Because it seems like a very simple story between the mom and the son, and she's encouraging him. But there's a really good message here. It's a good example, I would say.
Yes. I wrote this book to inspire other mothers to encourage their children, to support their children in just the smallest task. Again, he's outside on a swing and he, fell down. And instead of saying, boy, get up, get up, you're
We've all
encouraging
been there. We've seen that.
Yeah, but you do nudge him to, okay, son, let's try this again. You can do it. I'm here. And if you fall down, I'm going to help you off. And teaching them how to brush it off, to be more of a nurturer. And that's so hardcore on our sons. They're babies. And we're trying to encourage them to be successful. But if we're always saying, stop crying or, not that bad, we should encourage them. We should support them. So I wrote this to inspire other mothers. That simple little word, son, yes, you can.
Yes,
I'm here to support you. I'll always be there for you.
Okay.
And the small little things and the small little activities and the large as well. I'll always be there to support you. So that's why I wrote this book, to inspire other parents to support their babies.
To support their babies. So can you tell everyone the constant mantra of the mom when her son isn't successful at certain things? What is it that the mom keeps saying?
The mom always says, son, never give up. Yes, you can. I will always be your biggest fan.
Yes, absolutely. And my son isn't our youngest is in his 30s, and I still tell him I'm his biggest fan. He's an entertainer, but still, I'm his biggest fan, even if he wasn't,
Yeah.
But yeah.
James is on here. My 30-year-old James he's on here. He'll tell you, I always tell him I'm
Yes.
your
Hi, James is on here.
Yes,
Hi,
he's on
James.
here. Eric
Hi,
is on here
James.
as well. I think my son Eric is on here as well.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
they're my fans too. And my biggest fan, my husband, is on here as
Oh,
well.
yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I really do love that. So I want to read my favorite part. And like I said, it's a book for, it's a book for young children, but still the message carries over. I mean, our kids are grown. And still, they need to know that you're their biggest fan, right? Okay,
Yes.
so guys, I'm going to start at this part. And it's JR's biggest fan. And so JR has been having some difficulty because he's trying this, he's trying that, and he's not finding any success. And his self-esteem is a little shaky, and he's really feeling down. And his mom keeps telling him, don't give up. You know, I'm your biggest fan. You can try it. You can, yes, you can. So now he's trying something new. And this is my favorite part. JR was feeling sad until he heard a sound. A rat-a-tat and feet marching on the ground. Now this is something new, right? Okay, looking out the window. He was excited to see drummers keeping a beat, marching in lines and moving their happy feet. Okay, this looks interesting. This looks interesting. He asked his mom for a drum and sticks. He wanted to try the drummer's tricks. Now they're at the music store. Mom is supporting. He beat his drum like the players in the band, making great sounds for the fans in the stands. Okay, now I don't see him looking sad anymore. I think he's found his thing.
Yes.
Now JR found something he could do very well. It made him smile when he heard his mom yell, "Son, never give up. I know you can. Remember, I'll always be your biggest fan." Look at that. He found his thing.
Found his thing.
Every child is going to have one.
Yes, and what's so funny is that my son was just in here a few minutes ago, and he was doing something to his drum just a few minutes ago. So that is such a true story. I've had to buy them drums and sticks, and they're tapping on things, but his drum is sitting right here beside me now. So they love their drum. They love
see, this shows the child that, you know, I don't want to say failure, but not being great at something is not the end of the world. Right? It's not the end of the world. Like you said, keep trying other things, and you'll find that one thing that you have passion about or you have a gift for. But if you quit, you're never going to find it.
Right.
You're never going to find it. And then I love how you end the book. First of all, it's a coloring page. Awesome. But you end it with this scripture. I don't know if you guys can see it. It says Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Okay, that's the best way to end a book. You win. You win. And there's a coloring page. I love that, Dr. Sheila. I love that. Very, very good message for the children and a good message for the parents as well. The parents as well. So have you always worked with young children and their parents?
Well, my work includes, I've always been an educator. I've always worked in an elementary setting for 17 years. I worked in the school system, taught grades, all grades K through 5, then moved into the college sector, and I taught on college level for several years and was director of the teacher education, chaired the teacher education program at 2 different institutions, as well as assistant director of the daycare and at that institution. And then I was director of continuing education. Then I went back into the classroom some years later and ended retirement in the classroom. Working as an intervention teacher. But I still continue to work as an intervention teacher part-time and teaching college courses as well, where I just came from, and also serve as a mentor for a college supervisor for the practicum and student teachers at my local university.
That's a lot. And wait a minute, what happened to retirement though? When do you squeeze that in? I'm just wondering.
I don't know. I got to find out what happened to that.
Right. That's amazing. And one of the things that really drew me to you is when I first heard you speaking in that Clubhouse room, and I can't even remember what room it was, but we were talking about children, obviously. You are a wealth of information when it comes to quick tips like this. If I say, Dr. Sheila, what could we tell parents about blah, blah, blah? You are right there. Well, they can do this and they can do that. And then they could do this. You are so full of those quick pieces of advice. And I mean, I know you could spout off long, speeches, I'm sure, and lessons. And, I know you could do that. But when you have those handy little tips for people, for young parents or parents of young children, that's what makes a difference, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
what,
I heard a word about 2, 3 months ago where you have an occupation, but to me, now I'm in my occupation. When I
oh,
when I went to teach at the technical college and I delved into early childhood, there was just a spark that was ignited in me about brain development and making sure children have those opportunities of learning from 0 to 3. And I've just been so engaged with it for years. Even when I went back to the school system, I just could not let it go. I even
yeah.
continued to teach part-time there because I know that's what was needed to make sure our children are getting that solid foundation. But what I finally understood is it's not just about the children getting what they need, it's about parents understanding what they need to be as the child's first teacher at home and
Yeah.
working with them to build that solid foundation. So I just love it. I get excited. I get
I
on a roll.
know, I know. You do. That's what turned me, into a fan when I heard you speak. And then when I started working on the other book, guys, I want you to know too, after this Kickstarter, I will be getting right back to my book, Is Your Child an Excellent Reader? I learned so much from listening to Dr. Sheila that I wanted to include her. So she's a contributor to that book, and it's going to be amazing. And that's what it's all about. It's you don't wait for your child to go to school to start learning. You don't wait for your child to go to school to become a good reader, because you and I had this wonderful conversation in another Clubhouse room that 4 out of 10 children, when they start school, they're already behind. And then
Yes,
what do? It's so hard for them to make up that difference. And we're talking about kindergarten.
right,
We're
right.
talking about going to kindergarten, guys, and being 2 grade levels behind, the equivalent of 2 grade levels behind 4 out of 10 children.
Yes.
That's frightening.
That's frightening because you're not hearing those words at home, that communication. And every time I speak, I talk about communication and how important it is, and that it is the foundation to reading. That
Yes.
parents need to talk to their babies, sing to their babies, read to their babies. And if a child hears so many words, it will set him up for success before he or she enters school. So
Enter
they can
school.
hear over 30 million words before they enter preschool and kindergarten. So we need to make sure we're talking to that baby and spending quality time with those children, reading, singing, and all those things I mentioned earlier.
Right. Right. And you made a point of that in a discussion where we think of the question I was asking with my book, is your child an excellent reader? Well, everybody wants to say yes. You want to say yes to that. You really feel like you should say yes. But
Mm-hmm.
then the whole point is, from what you were saying, we were stressing that reading does not start when the child picks up a book. Reading starts in the womb. And you were stressing that. Reading starts in the womb. And what you're connecting that with is the child being able to hear the sounds and becoming so familiar with sounds that it's like putting them in the pre-reading stage. Is that right?
Yes, that prefrontal cortex. You're developing those synapses and you're making those connections. And there's a term that I always use called serve and return, and in part with communication. Whereas when you're speaking to your baby and your baby coos, that means they're listening to you and they're responding to you. You're giving that attention, you're building those synapses in the brain where they know that, okay, if I say something, my mom is going to say it back to me. And
Right.
if I drop something and she says, uh-oh, and then they'll drop it again because they know they're going to get a response back from their mom. So that's called serve
Wow.
and return. So I tell parents, no matter what you're doing throughout the day, spend time talking to your baby, telling them what you're doing. If you're washing clothes, say, okay, baby, mommy's getting ready to go put the laundry in the washing machine, and then I'm going to cook dinner. What do you think I should cook today? And the baby's just going to cool, but you're interacting with that baby. You're
Right.
communicating with the baby. And when your toddler gets older, you're asking your baby, do you want to put on your red shirt today? Or do you want to put on your green shirt today? You're teaching your baby about colors without saying, this is a red shirt, this is a green shirt. So it's simple
Yes.
skills that we do with our children through simple communication, walking outside in the grass and talking about the green grass, talking about the clouds in the sky, that will engage your baby and have them prepared when they begin preschool or kindergarten.
Yeah, that is so smart. And you don't think of it that way, but now when I hear you say it, it's like that makes so much sense. You don't think of explaining to your baby what you're doing throughout the day, but you're giving information, and like you said, you're teaching them that this is a two-way thing here. You
Exactly. You're
know,
teaching your baby, I'm going to put you in the high chair so you can get ready for your snack. So the baby later on knows that, this is the step, this is the order. You're teaching all of those things to build upon for your baby. So all of that leads to comprehension skills, which is one of the
yeah,
worst area of reading for children. They're not retaining information because it's not built upon as they are younger. So
right.
children to attend to what they're reading and what they're listening to.
And that's what I've had that unfortunately I've noticed that with my students. You cannot wait to teach comprehension when a child learns to read. That's too late. That's too late. You need to put those foundational skills of comprehension in before they learn how to read the words on a page,
Right.
because that's really hard to push through. That's one of the reasons why I include worksheets in my books.
Mhm.
Because you want to make sure the child isn't just enjoying the story. You want to make sure that they're understanding. And I've
Exactly.
learned that just from experience of working with children is comprehension can start before reading.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And parents, a lot of parents need to understand how to read to their children. It is a skill. There is a skill with reading to your children, knowing how to make those voices and animate and attend to the punctuation in the story. So parents need to be taught that. Those are the things that I'm trying to teach with the course that I, have coming out.
Yeah.
How to read to your baby, how to communicate with your baby. We as educators know how to do it, but we have to teach these parents. So
Yes, Dr.
they can
Sheila.
have them ready when they begin preschool and kindergarten.
Yeah, makes so much sense. Makes so much sense. Okay, well, I could talk to you about all this stuff all day. I want to make sure I don't make sure there's no questions here. Everyone's enjoying this conversation. Hey guys, if I hadn't said hello to you, so glad you're here with me and Dr. Sheila. And oh my goodness, this information about this early preparing a child for reading and comprehension and communication. It seems like it makes all the difference in the world.
Yes, it
It really does. So you're doing really important work. So I want to show the book again for those who just came in. And this book, the message of this book is to never give up, to never give up and to explore different things until you find that one thing that you're not only good at, but that you love. And the biggest fan here is always going to be mom. Dad's a fan too, but it's special when it's mom, right? It's
is.
special. So tell us about your other book that you have coming up.
So my other book that's coming out really, really soon is called Mommy's Little Sunshine. I'm so excited about this book. This is another mother and son book, Mommy's
That's
Little
right.
Sunshine.
Yes.
And in this book, it's about how her mother, she dotes over her son. She likes his little feet. She likes his little smile, even his tears. She's just amazed at all the things about her son. And she calls him her little sunshine. So here's a little picture of the mom kissing
Oh,
the
that's
baby.
nice.
So I'm just so excited
I
about,
like that illustration. I like the look of the features of the mom and the baby. I like
yeah.
that.
Yes, I was very intentional with these illustrations. I wanted, my books to show a little black boy because we
Hmm.
don't see a lot of books with our children on the cover. So I was very intentional with my illustrator and let him know exactly what I was looking for in this story. So he did a great job
He
with
did.
what I was imagining and what I wanted to show in these pictures. So I'm so excited. This book
Yeah.
is in pre-order. If anyone would like to order it, you can go to my website or or if you can just go to my bio
On
on
your IG bio?
my IG bio,
Okay.
and there's the link. for my link tree, and all the information's out there. And while you're out there, there's also a free resource for parents. I created a calendar this month. This is something I'm doing now. A calendar of activities for parents to do with their children at home. Just some simple little activities. You know, I thought that, hey, this would be great for parents to do at home with their babies, involving around fall and October and everything. So again, if you want to pre-order the book, just go to my website, drsheila.thomas.com, or just go to the link in Instagram to order the book, as well as JR's Biggest Fan is out there.
Yes.
To mention that JR's Biggest Fan is also in Spanish. So if anyone wants to,
great.
It's also in Spanish. Yes,
That's very nice. Well, I'm going to put all of that in the description so people can know to go to your link tree or to your website. I'll make sure I include all of that. Okay. And so now, the other two books you have, are they more academic books, or are they children's books as well?
They're children's books as well.
Okay, so, what are those? Now I don't know those.
So there's a spinoff from JR's Biggest Fan. This is a coloring book called Yes, I Can. Okay. A coloring book of affirmation for boys. Again, we're talking about
boys. For boys, yes.
For boys. So it's just different things that I have that boys can do, you know, and I can count to 100. So it's just different little things that, and this is my favorite here, a little boy dancing. I can dance to the beat, and the little boy dancing. And so with this book, if anyone orders it from my website, you also get a box of 8-count multicultural crayons. So
don't you love those? Don't you love those? I love those crayons.
Here's a little boy reading the book. So I'm just so proud of this. And my other book here, this one is for women. It's not for children. This is for women. This is called Wait, Women Anticipating Incredible Turnaround. And Naomi, it took 15 years for me to write this book.
Wow.
This book is about stories and things that happened in my life, different trials and tribulations I went through. Whereas my mom died at an early age in a tragic way. I went through a divorce. My career didn't span the way I thought it should. And also financial woes that my husband and I went through. And how, as a Christian woman, I sat in the waiting room with God and prayed and read scripture, and he gave me an incredible turnaround. So there's different scriptures that are within this book. And also at the end of each chapter, I have lines here so women can answer a question. And there's a question that was posed, and they can jot their notes on those pages as well. So I'm excited about this book. Thank you very much.
I like that. I shared that post that you put up. The cover is beautiful. Can you hold that cover up again? I remember when you posted that. That is really beautiful.
So, and my youngest son, he actually gave me the concept of, on the cover, they're waiting for the incredible turnaround. And at the end, they're
nice. Nice.
There's the incredible turnaround. So I'm so excited about this book and this story.
That's
and
nice.
You know, I'm very transparent. I share some things in here that people like, you're telling that. But you know, I want other people to know that although you have a plan, God has a different plan for your life, and just trust him. Jeremiah 29:11 is my mantra. You know, he has a great plan for us. So just trust him and just don't, it's another about don't give up. That's how I always sound it. Don't give up on God. Wait for your incredible turnaround.
That's awesome. I'm going to have to get that. I'm going to order that. Yeah, that sounds really good. And I like when someone shares their personal story.
Yes.
Because it makes you realize first of all, I'm not the only one going through stuff, you know. And then it's encouraging because this person is open and sharing, and they're showing you where they were and now showing you where they are with God's help. So those type of stories are encouraging.
Yes.
So I mean, I don't even know why you say you're retired. Where's your husband at on here? She ain't retired. She ain't retired. That's awesome, Dr. Sheila. That is awesome. That is a lot of beautiful work, that you're doing. And then I want to make sure I have you do a couple of words on your room with your son. So tell us about that. You just started a couple of weeks ago. So what do you all do? What do you talk about in there?
Well, again, the room is called Raising Black and Brown Boys, and I It's a room held every Tuesday at 1 o'clock with my son, James. He's a professor at Albany State University. I'm so proud of him. He's 30 years old and he has his PhD. He
Wow.
graduated from Morehouse College, and he also graduated from University of California at Irvine. And I'm proud to say debt free. He did
Yay.
for school. So I'm proud of that. And all of that is part of the foundational skills that I gave him and my son. And that's why I'm trying to encourage other parents. You too can do this. Not saying that they're perfect, they've done everything right. No, they were not. But there are some things that I know that I did well, and I just want to share with others. So what
Right.
he and I do is we meet on Tuesdays at 1, and we have various topics. Like this week, we talked about understanding development, the stages of development. We didn't even finish it. It was so great. We talked about cognitive development and social and emotional development. Last week was National Sons Day. So we celebrated National Sons Day by talking about Tupac Shakur and his mom,
His mom.
how she supported him, Martin Luther King's mom. So we have various topics throughout each week that we like to bring up to the audience, and we love for parents to come in and share, any other experts to come in and to share. If anyone has a topic idea, just send it to me in my Instagram DMs, and we'll be sure to talk about your topic as
That's
well.
awesome.
So it's so much fun, and I'm
That's
having a
awesome.
great time doing the room with him.
That is beautiful. I love the whole idea of that, of you guys doing this together. I love that. And I love that there's so many things for women and girls. And it's nice to have something for the boys and the young men, and, you know, the boys and men, I will say. And that's one of the reasons why I wrote Johari the Great, because the girls, I mean, our children need to be represented in children's lit, period. You know, that's one of the things I always say, that I am going to close the diversity gap in children's literature. So that's a given. However, there are more opportunities for representation for girls
Mhm.
than for boys. And we know that there's a certain age in school where we can lose our boys in that third grade, you know, area, that third, fourth grade.
Mhm.
So it's really important to encourage our boys, to have our boys represented, to engage them, and to do what you're doing is to talk about those issues so we're prepared, you know, when
Yes.
they come up. So we have well, I'm not a young mother anymore, but so that young mothers have what they need, those tools and tips that you provide, so that they can, you know, provide the boys with what they need to develop and to grow through those challenges. So I think it's great. I
Thank
really
you.
do. I think you're doing wonderful work.
Thank you. My work is to, I'm always just, it just bothers me, the statistics we hear about our boys, and now this theory that, school to prison pipeline. We're here to
Oh,
dismantle that. We're going to just tear that apart. That's what I'm trying to
exactly.
do. And my husband
Exactly.
and I did
I think
mention
you're
this,
doing
but
it.
thank you. My husband and I, we're also stewards of a free little library. So he and I,
Oh, yeah.
yes, we got an old newspaper rack from our local newspaper company here that they're not using. They have a graveyard of them, and so we got one. My husband, my dear darling husband, he spray painted it, and we have a weekly date where we go out every week to make sure it's restored and to make sure it's full of
Mm-hmm.
books. And it's at the local homeless shelter, so we have books in there for children, for adults as well. Different genres of
That is so
books. So
awesome.
yeah, so we're excited about that work, and we're even going to take it further. There's an organization that I'm a part of here who are going to put 4 more into the community. So that's one of our volunteer work that we're going to do with the children. So I'm excited about that project. So
That's
if
good.
there's
I
anyone who wants,
remember. I'm sorry, go
yes,
ahead.
anyone wants to send their book, let me know, and we'll be glad to have it a part of the library. I have your book, and I'm gonna be honest, I haven't put it in there yet because
That's okay. I'll send you another one, because I remember we talked about this, and you know, that's something that I want. I want a little free library. So I
yeah,
definitely want to do that, because I love going around and putting books in them. I just
yes.
love it. I do. So that's really important. And you have some nice comments here. Someone's asking where you're located. And then this is such a necessary topic. Thank you for providing your expertise to our people. So are you in Atlanta?
No, I'm much further south in
Okay.
Valdosta, Georgia.
Georgia. Okay.
Yeah,
But you were,
yeah.
okay. I knew it was
Yeah,
Georgia.
I'm in Georgia, but Valdosta, Georgia. You know,
Valdosta,
there's
Georgia.
Atlanta, and then there's the rest of Georgia. I'm near the
Okay.
Florida line. I'm about 15, 20 minutes away from the Florida line, so I'm much
Oh,
further
okay.
south. Yes.
Okay, well, you're getting lots of amens and just really enjoying what you're saying. And people saying your book is lovely, the illustrations, they can't wait to get it. So, I mean, I could keep you here. I'm not going to, but I love talking to you, Dr. Sheila. You always inspire me. I do want to hold your book up again, JR's biggest fan. So guys, we have to be the biggest fans for our children. And most people will say that they are. But there's always these extra little things like you shared that we can do, to really give our children those emotional tools that they need. And
Yeah.
this book has that message for both parents and children. So JR's biggest fan. And can you hold up your other ones?
I
Because we
will.
got a whole shopping list we can do with you here. Usually it's just one book.
So the spinoff from JR's Biggest Fan, first of all, it comes as a Spanish version.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to attempt to say La Naya. Yeah. So there's a Spanish version of this book here, JR's Biggest Fan. And then the spinoff from that was the coloring book.
Yes, I
Yes,
can.
a coloring book of affirmation for boys. And coming up really soon, October 22nd, I'm going to have a book launch, but it's called Mommy's Little Sonshine. But right now, people can pre-order by going to the
Pre-order,
link in my
yes.
bio to pre-order that book as well. And then the one for women, what's called Wait, Women
Wait.
Anticipating Incredible Turnaround. So they're
And
all available.
that's available now, right?
Oh, yes, it's
That one's
available now.
available
It's
now.
been out over a year. Yes,
Okay, great.
I put that book out for my mom on her birthday last
Oh,
year.
how special. How special. Well, that's great. So we have a lot to choose from, and I hope you guys will support Dr. Sheila. I told you she was awesome. You saw for yourself she is. She's a wealth of not just knowledge, but inspiration. You really are. You really
Okay.
are. And I appreciate you so much. So do you have any parting words for us before we go?
Basically, Naomi, I want to say thank you, and I just love your spirit and being able to, sit here and have a conversation with you tonight. And I love the work that you are doing. So let's make sure we're supporting Naomi as well with her Kickstarter campaign. She has a wonderful book that she's doing, and she wants to donate it to the children in her area. So that is just so great. It's about giving back, not about just
Yes.
always what we can get. It's about giving back. So I love that about you.
Thank you.
As for the books and all, my theme, of course, is around Black boys. I want to work with all parents and all children, but we have to make sure we're doing everything to make sure our little Black boys are successful. How we're going to do that? We're going to tap into these parents. We want to tap into the parents. And again, that is why I have my upcoming course that will also be launched on October 27th. I'm hoping to launch it that day as well. And so free webinar, as well as my Facebook group. If you'd like to join it, just send me a message that says biggest fan. And so you can join my Facebook group where I will be sharing lots of tips, and the webinar where I will share some of the things that we're talking about today. And it's going to be a whole course where we'll break down about brain development, social and emotional development. We're going to talk about how do you create the literacy environment at home. We're going to talk about daycare, looking for quality rated daycare, mindfulness. So it's lots of topics that I will be talking to parents about within my course. So if you're interested, just send me a message in the back channel. I'm not back channel, I'm thinking on Clubhouse.
That too.
And Instagram. And on the form for the pre-order, there are some questions I asked too.
Okay.
if parents are interested. And remember, there's a free resource out there for parents. If you go to my link tree, you can get that free resource, and I'll email that to you as well. So I'm excited about this work, Naomi. I'm just very passionate about what I'm doing because I'm here to make a difference. And if I can help
Yes.
someone along the way, then my living will not be in vain.
Amen. Amen. Well, it's not. We can definitely say that. We definitely can say that. Now, I want to make one thing clear. Did I hear you say the webinar is free?
The webinar will be free. Yes, it will be free. So if anyone is interested in
That's
participating
important.
in the webinar, yes, please just send me a message or in my Instagram and say webinar, or you could put biggest fan, whatever, and I'll,
Mm-hmm.
send you more information about that because I want
Okay.
parents to know and have that knowledge how to work with their children at home. So yes, it
Absolutely. So make sure you tag me on one of those posts about the webinar so I can share it as well. Okay.
will do. I will do.
Okay. So let me just check. So, guys, I have enjoyed this talk with Dr. Sheila. I'm so glad that you all are here. She says, Marquise says, you are full of light. Yes, she is. She
Thank
really
you.
is. She really is. So thank
Thank
you for blessing us. And I mean, you are doing so much, and it's all just beautiful. It really, really is. And you definitely are making a difference. And you're a
you.
good role model for me.
Oh, thank you, Naomi. I
Yeah.
love what I do. I love teaching my students. Like I said, I just left the college teaching my college students and had a good time with them. I love teaching. I retired to enjoy life, but I'm
Yeah.
enjoying
But you are, right? You
life. Yeah,
are. You're
I
just
am.
doing, you're doing what you love,
I do
and
my,
you're giving.
I keep passing. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and you're still giving. You're doing what you love, but you're giving to people you love as well. So that's important. Yeah.
Yes,
Well, thank you, Dr. Sheila. I promise I'm not going to say it again. I'm going to let you go. I really am going to let you go.
it's
But
okay.
again, guys, JR's biggest fan, and go to her link tree. You can go to her bio so you can get to her link tree. I will provide all the information, plus our website, plus the free webinar and the course that's coming up, and her Clubhouse room as well. So I'm going to put all of that in there.
All of that.
Thank
That's a
you
lot.
for spending time with us, Dr. Sheila.
Thank you,
Really
Naomi. God's
appreciate
grace
it.
and blessings to you. Continue to
Thank
do what
you.
you're doing as well.
Thank you. I will. That's a beautiful encouragement. I received that. Thank you so much.
You're
All right,
welcome.
guys. And I thank you for being with me as always on Tuesday for Kid Author Connect. I will see you again next week. And don't forget, on Thursday, I'm going to do a special author chat with Leah Hernandez, who is the director of Young Authors Publishing, the nonprofit organization that teaches children how to become published authors. And they are amazing. We had a couple of wonderful interviews with these children. I was so impressed, just so impressed. So you can look at those on my timeline as well. But that is Thursday at 5, and I'll post, and I hope you guys can tune in. So until then, bye, Dr. Sheila. All
Bye.
right,
Have a good
guys.
evening. Have a
Bye-bye.
great
Have a good night, everyone. Bye.